This Protoman review is brought to you by Big Bad Toy Store. Big Bad Toy Store, the ultimate in toys.
A new line debuted, and with it comes a new evolution in Transformers, and a new style that Hasbro is going about to evolve with the market of how toys are going today. So I'm going to start with probably the most interesting one of the bunch in terms of a name evolution. So this is Protoman Protoretro, and I'm reviewing Transformers Robots in Disguise Strongarm. So let's do this.
Protoretro.
Now, I've talked a lot in the past about the evolution of the brand and how a lot has changed since the Bay movies and how they've influenced a lot of different things. The Unicron trilogy really was a downward twilight for that of the original Transformers brand, and the Bay movies really reinvigorated a lot of that and took a lot of characters and took a new spin on them. That being said, Strongarm is one of those prime examples of that new spin. Now, what do you think I mean exactly by that? And it all goes really in the name, Strongarm. Now, I've said in the past where characters like Barricade, that for years were just a G1 Micromaster Formula One pink and blue car, and then it just took a character in the Bay movies to come around and totally take that name, turn it on its head, and be something different that will forever be known as now that kind of Barricade. Bulkhead was another example of that. Mind you, Bulkhead stemmed originally from a Energon toy that later on became the animated character we love today. But let's talk about the name Strongarm. Now, the name Strongarm originally started in Energon, or more specifically, Superlink. Now, Superlink in Japan had a character, or an Omnicron, as they were called, or Omnibot, depending on which side of the ocean you were, had a character named Strongarm. Now, in Japan, he was called Blast Arm, and it was a male character, strictly a male character, that turned into a all-terrain vehicle. I'm going to use here the Sector 7 movie example, just so I don't have to transform these guys over and over to show you. But was more or less just a all-terrain vehicle, male character, and the name Strongarm probably lent to the fact that he was strong and tough and used his arms. And again, deriving from the Superlink name, which obviously predates all of this, he was originally called Blast Arm, and probably the name Blast Arm wasn't trademarkable, so they fell onto Strongarm. And that was more or less it for that character. Color coincidences? Maybe not there just yet. Turned into an all-terrain vehicle. That's all that could be said, really. We go to 2006, and a little mini-con comes along from the Classics line, whatever you want to call it. The Cybertron line had a similar one too in Japan. In Galaxy Force, he had Detectus was his name. But we had this little mini-con named Strongarm that turned into a police car. Now, this is where the name Strongarm kind of had that denotation of, oh, now it's kind of related to the strong arm of the law, using the name to actually connect it to something that was actually related to its name. As I transform this little mini-con off screen here for you guys as I ramble away. So that was the next evolution of that character. And with this character, we finally had a more police-based one. And we had Strongarm, the mini-con, which was police-based, but male still. Now, after that, there would be in 2007, more or less using the Energon mold, Target exclusive, and it was called Strongarm. Male character again, not much to really talk about in that case, but same story over there. And then in 2011, the BotCon comic book for the 2011 box set, the Stunticon job, had a character in the background named Strongarm, which was heavily influenced from this design, done obviously in Derek Wyatt's animated style, but because of the name Strongarm, actually played up the whole strong arm of the law and was part of animated Sideswipe and animated Cheetor's like police team, but done in this style. And again, still a male character. And then this one comes around. And it looks like now the character of Strongarm is going to be female, has that strong arm of the law police thing, but goes beyond that even more. And now also with this character comes a new change with Hasbro with how they're going to be gimmicking their toys. A scan code that is present on the figure, where you download the app and then you could scan it and unlock the characters or the toys, size, class, and weapons and stuff. Lucky for us, I'm going to show you that live right now. Click here, and then it's going to show you how to scan, essentially. Which in this case it's going to be on her chest over there. And it's amazing actually how this device works. So you just bring it up right to it, and it's going to lock onto it, which is the most amazing thing. Locks onto it perfectly and unlocks characters, weapons. In the case of characters that you already have unlocked, it unlocks special weapons for them. They're exclusive to that size class of the toy, whether if you buy the one-step Titan or the Legend scale, there's all kinds of little different things, and adds the new unlockable possibility. And thus we have the character of Strongarm, but the warrior class, which is the scale for this, or what was once known as the Deluxe. So pretty cool, with weapons and everything. Now, enough about all of that. Let's open up the toy and check out what's happening. So traditionally, like I always do, let's start with the vehicle mode. Even though this toy is packaged in robot mode, and that's a new thing with the warrior scale. These deluxe, let's use air quotes, deluxe sized figures are packaged in this mode. Now, the warrior scale, let's start with that. As I said before, it kind of planned to be their replacement for the deluxe scale, but not quite. Kind of has the same price point or whatever, but less paint in a lot of areas that could have had paint. Hasbro's really going for something that's a more bare basic kind of pricing, but that's what we got to do to survive here and then. I don't want to make excuses for them, but unfortunately, main brand, it seems like that's the way they want to go. The generation stuff doesn't seem to be suffering from it, but it looks like mainline, that is the case. So, Strongarm is a SUV police car, again, invoking from probably an evolution of this concept of taking these two, marrying them together, and getting this, along with, I guess it being a female character. You have a weapon here that loads on the top. It has Minicon ports on it, so it could also put Minicons on it, oddly enough, so you could probably attach Strongarm to your Strongarm and be strong in an arm. I don't know. But it has Minicon ports on the side, just to point that out. And not much could be said. Not a lot of paint on it. It's a shell former. Really, you could see what's going on over there, and some other things I really want to talk about in vehicle mode that are interesting, but not much that could be said. Yeah, so let's transform this cool figure and get to the real meat of it. Transformation. And here she is, Strongarm, newly appointed female character of the Robots in Disguise 2.0 series. So, this character is kind of interesting, and the toy really makes me question some stuff too afterwards. And I'll get into that in a second. So, this warrior scale, kind of a fusion of the bulkiness of the power battlers that Age of Extinction created, doing that in between of Scout and Deluxe scale in terms of size and tooling. Paint, not a lot of it because of that. Price point, unfortunately, kind of the same as the original Deluxes. But we got to do what we got to do to survive in this day and age. She comes with her gun. She can plug in there. Articulation's kind of limited because of her big backpack there, because she is kind of a shell former, because they really still wanted to have that female kind of body, although she is very different than most female characters in terms of a body type. She's not your slender RC that most people are used to, or even Windblade or any of that matter. She's a lot more bulky, but not bulky in the hard to discern kind of way of a Striker from Beast Machines. This is more something that, yes, it is clearly female, though, in aesthetic, but still pretty cool. Now, here's something that's really weird about it. Part of her transformation, her chest piece folds down, but it folds down and reveals something that I swear to God looks like it could have a Matrix there sitting in it. I mean, oh man, let me just get something quickly. I mean, it just looks like, I don't know, like it really looks like the two peg holes for every single Matrix wielding Transformer toy I have ever known to have that. And it is very weird that it has that. Maybe some third-party guys, hint, hint, could make a Strongarm Matrix so she could be the first ever female convoy / prime. The real first one. Make it official. First female leader, per se. But pretty cool. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. And you can have the little scan gimmick there. She's really awesome. I mean, she's a little pricey for what she is in terms of paint applications and engineering, but for what you're getting from a character standpoint, I think she's awesome. And I really think people should pick her up. I think that if there's one of the few RID toys you should pick up, she's the one that calls out to me out of all of them. Definitely, for sure. And again, to me, it's the history of the name. Next evolution. What more can I say? So this is Protoman and Protoretro, and this has been a video review of Transformers Robots in Disguise 2.0, the Warrior class, Strongarm, and possibly leader of the Autobots. Who knows? So until then, guys, take care and roll out.